issues began very innocently with a routine physical back in 2005. An EKG showed an electrical blip in my heartbeat, and just as a precaution, my doctor sent me to see a cardiologist. I happened to mention to her that my mom had a condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. She and I underwent genetic testing to see if we shared a link to the heart problem, and sure enough, we did. We both had the same mutated gene responsible for the condition. Back in 2005, when we learned all of this, I had no symptoms at all. It wasn't until December of 2008, as my husband and I were preparing for the holidays and getting ready to travel out west, that I became really concerned. I couldn't catch my breath. Everything I did seemed to wind me, even climbing a flight of stairs. Over the next year or so, I got progressively more tired, dizzy, and lightheaded. No treatment I was prescribed was working, so we decided it was time to see another cardiologist. This cardiologist found the muscle between the two chambers of my heart had thickened slightly, and this was causing part of my problem, as it can for many who have hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. My papillary muscles were also a problem. Instead of being attached to the inside walls of my heart, they had become detached, and they were interfering with the opening and closing of my mitral valve. The plan was to open me up, hook up my heart to the bypass machine, shave away the thickened muscle between the chambers, and then split the papillary muscles back to the inside wall of the heart, and perhaps replace the mitral valve if it was severely damaged. But that they wouldn't know until they got in there to see what they were looking at. In May of 2010, surgery was scheduled. I said my goodbyes and I love yous to my husband Jim and son Eric, and then off to the OR I went.
Ellen's doctors told us it would be several hours before they would know anything. We had just gone into a room to watch an educational film that was going to tell us about what Ellen and the other patients were experiencing, when all of a sudden the door to the room we were in opened up. Ellen's cardiologist was there and motioned for us to follow him. It had only been a couple of hours, so we weren't expecting him quite yet, and we could tell he was concerned. At first, I was afraid Ellen had something really bad. It was way too soon for any news, other than bad news. We learned that the first attempt at Ellen's procedure had failed. Her heart was still not functioning properly, but the doctors were determined to try again. As we continued to wait, hours seemed like days, but eventually it was over. They had fixed Ellen's heart. A journey that began with education, research, and Ellen's commitment to herself had brought her to a healthier life.
So here we are, almost 3 years later. I feel great. I have no symptoms. I continue to get checked on an annual basis, and I am so grateful for my doctors, the love and support of so many great friends, and the ongoing research that helped doctors know how to keep my heart healthy. Without all of that support, I would not be here today. That's why we go red for women.